Broker has a pitch. Now you get a CPA. One quick thing before we get started today. If you're looking at a specific business right now, the free readiness test is linked in the description below. Please take it before you make an offer. Download it today. Today, I want to talk to you about the fake debate, right? Half the internet says buy a business, buy a boring business. The other half says start one. Here's the truth. Both sides are really usually trying to sell you something. Maybe it's a course, maybe it's a franchise, maybe it's just a program. Nobody does the boring part, right? The actual math for a real person with real money at risk. And listen, I don't care which one you pick. I care that you pick the right one for your situation. You make a decision based on your circumstances now. So instead of buying that brand new course or buying that program or even buying into a franchise, let's do the math that neither side actually wants you to do. Hi, I'm Jason Schmitt. I help people buy businesses under $500,000 without making a mistake that could cost them everything. The appeal of starting a business is lower upfront cash, 100%. You have full control and you build it the way you want to build it. Build it your way. The real cost is the time it takes for you to get to revenue. Sometimes it's between 12 and 36 months. And most new businesses don't survive. You're not just spending money, you're spending years finding out if anyone will pay you for what you're selling. Here's the cash reality, right? You have a low startup cost, but no cash flow. That means you're funding losses out of your own pocket while you learn. In starting a business, you have a lot to consider. There's no doubt about it. And I will say, starting the business is a fit for some people. And I'm going to tell you, it fits this person, right? A person that's got time. They have the luxury to wait before getting in the revenue. People who have a genuine edge or skill over competition. Now, they most often have low capital, and they must have a high risk tolerance because most new businesses close up. Now let's talk about what it actually costs to buy a business and the appeal of purchasing a business. The appeal is existing revenue from customers that already have a relationship with that business. You are going to inherit trained employees. You'll have cash flow from day one. I want you to think back to video 7. It was titled, After You Close, the Cost They Never Mentioned. The sticker price is not the real number, right? You get a down payment. You got to pay closing costs. You got to have working capital. You got to have a 90-day runway for your personal costs, for your personal expenses. But here's the trade-off. You pay more upfront to skip the survival gauntlet. You're buying momentum. Momentum costs money. But momentum is also what keeps the business alive. Now, this fits a person that actually has capital or has access to SBA who want cash flow sooner rather than later. And you know what? Their failure rate is a lot lower. So I want to go through some real math right here, side by side, right? All right, so the startup, if you're going to start a business, yes, you have a low cash in. And income usually takes between 12 and 36 months, as we discussed, to start coming in. Starting businesses does have a high failure rate, right? According to LendingTree, 25% of startups fail in the first year. And don't forget that whole time you have living expenses. Now, if you buy a business, it's high cash in, right? But the revenue is from day one. It's a far higher survival rate. You're buying a proven model, something that you know works. The honest comparison isn't which is cheaper today, it's which gets you to sustainable income quicker. For most first-time owners with some capital, buying is a lower risk path to actual cash flow. For people with a real edge and little capital, starting can be your best bet. I hate to say this, but it's absolutely the truth, and we talk about it all the time. It's a math question. It's not about your motivation. It's a math question. This is so important, and here's the trap, and I want you to listen. The more you want it, the less you want to do the math. because the math might tell you no. That's exactly when you need it the most. Listen, both have risk. Both of them do. Doing the math helps determine if you have enough runway to survive being wrong. Here's the payoff. I'm not going to tell you buying always wins. That's not true. That's what someone would say if they're trying to sell you something. Of course, starting wins when you genuinely have a competitive advantage. You have low capital. You have time to burn, and you have a high risk tolerance. Buying wins is when you do have the capital or financing. You want cash flow sooner rather than later, and you can't afford years of losses. The right answer is the one your math supports, not the one some guru's course is built to sell you. Listen, if you've done this math and you're leaning toward buying right now, here's your next step. Before you make an offer on anything else, go download and take the 10-question readiness test. The link is in the description below. It's the exact 10 questions I ask every buyer who brings a deal to me to look at. And most people cannot answer 6 of them. If it exposes gaps and you're looking at a business right now, a real business right now, book a 30-minute call with me, no obligation. Everyone at the table gets paid when this deal closes. The broker gets paid, the seller gets paid, and the lender earns their fees. I'm the only one who gets paid to tell you the truth either way. If this helped and you like this kind of content, please subscribe, like, hype, do all those things. It's the kind of content that could help you save your house. Listen, it's not about finding a deal. It's about avoiding a bad one.